So we all pretty much agree that Bitcoin is the ultimate digital store of value, right? It's digital gold. But that begs the question, what would digital silver look like? I'm not talking about something to replace gold, but something to work alongside it, something fast, something light, something you can actually use for your day-to-day stuff. Today, we're going to explore an idea that completely respects Bitcoin's throne while making the case for a different tool for a different job. And to really get this, we've got to go back to the very beginning, back to the vision that started this whole revolution. This quote from Satoshi's white paper, it's the foundation for everything. And the dream really was pretty simple. Electronic cash, person-to-person, direct, no banks in the middle. It was a groundbreaking idea, and it's the core principle that so many of us still believe in so strongly. And out of that vision, of course, came Bitcoin, an absolute titan. It achieved something that people thought was impossible. But as time went on, its role, well, it started to shift. Let's dig into why. You see, the absolute genius of Bitcoin was solving that double spending problem. How do you make sure I can't spend the same digital dollar twice without a bank watching over us? Well, what Satoshi came up with was the proof of work blockchain, a public ledger that everyone can see and trust. It's incredibly secure, it's decentralized, and it just works. But, and this is a big but, that level of security comes at a price. And that price, that trade-off, is really what we call the scalability problem. To build the most bulletproof system imaginable, Bitcoin was designed with a very specific, very intentional limitation. And that limitation has huge consequences for using it as everyday cash. To make sure there's no chaos and that everyone agrees on who paid who and when, Bitcoin was built like a single-lane road. The network processes one block of transactions, then the next, and then the next, all in one long, unbreakable chain. It's literally what makes it so secure. But what happens when that single-lane road gets a little bit of traffic? Get this, 10 minutes. On average, that's how long it takes to add a new block to the chain. And to be really clear, this is not a bug, it's a feature. It was designed to be slow for maximum security, to give the entire world time to agree on the state of the ledger. But 10 minutes? I mean, you're not going to wait that long for a cup of coffee to go through, right? And when that road gets really busy, the problem gets way, way worse. And yeah, this is exactly what happens. When everyone tries to cram onto that one-lane road, you get a massive digital traffic jam. And if you want your transaction to get through, you have to pay a huge toll to cut the line. I mean, look at this. In one crazy case, someone paid almost $800,000 in fees just to move $13,000. That fee structure makes using Bitcoin to buy a sandwich or a movie ticket, well, it's just completely impractical. So because of all this, Bitcoin naturally found its true calling. It became digital gold. It is, without a doubt, an incredible store of value, protected by the most powerful computer network on the planet. But it's not the fast, cheap digital cash from the white paper, and that's okay. That's not a failure, that's its strength. Gold isn't for buying a candy bar. It's for securing your wealth for generations. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. If Bitcoin is our digital gold, then what could be our digital silver? And I want to be super clear here. This is not about finding some Bitcoin killer. Not at all. It's about finding a technology that fulfills the other half of Satoshi's original vision. And honestly, the analogy is perfect. Throughout history, gold was what you stored your wealth in. But silver was the workhorse. It was used for everyday trade because you could break it down into smaller bits and it was easier to carry around. That's exactly what Kaspa is designed to be. A secure but incredibly fast and scalable way to exchange value. It's the cash in your digital pocket, not the gold in your digital vault. Now, this is the most important part, especially for anyone who really believes in the core principles of crypto. Kaspa is built on that same foundation. It's proof of work, secured by real-world energy and computing power. It has that same DNA of decentralization and a fair launch. But it adds one critical ingredient to that trusted recipe: unbelievable speed. So you're probably asking, okay, how in the world does it pull this off? How do you get that kind of speed without giving up the security of proof of work? Well, the innovation is all in the architecture, a totally different way of structuring the ledger, compared to that single-lane road. Okay. This right here, this is the big aha moment. Instead of a blockchain, Kaspa uses something called a BlockDAG. Now forget the crazy name for a second. Just think about it like this. Bitcoin's blockchain is that single-lane road we talked about, where every car has to wait in line. A BlockDAG is a massive multi-lane superhighway. Blocks can be created and confirmed at the same time, in parallel, all woven together. This lets the network process an absolutely enormous number of transactions all at once.
And the difference this makes, it's just wild. So on this chart, Bitcoin's transaction time is way over here at 10 minutes, 600 seconds. The Visa network is much better, sure, down to a few seconds. And Kaspa, you can barely even see the bar. We are talking sub-second confirmation. This isn't just a little bit faster, it's a whole different league. It's crypto that's actually faster than your credit card.
Okay, so it's crazy fast, but who cares if you can't actually use it, right? What does this raw performance mean when the rubber meets the road in the real world? Well, first, let's talk cost. The average transaction fee on Kaspa is less than a penny, about 1/1000th of a dollar. At that price, microtransactions aren't just possible, they're easy. You could send $1 or 10 cents or even a single penny to anyone in the world for basically nothing. It just works. And this isn't just theory. This quote from a small business owner just nails it. Payment processors like Square take a real cut. With Kaspa, that $4 per sale goes right back into the business owner's pocket. And, maybe even more important, the money is there instantly. No more waiting 3 days for the bank transfer to clear. And look, this isn't some far-off dream. This is happening right now. You're seeing a map here of actual businesses, coffee shops, service providers that already accept Kaspa. And on the right, that's a sticker you'd see in a shop window, right next to the big guys like Visa and Square. People are building a real-world economy on this thing today. So, okay, we've established it's super fast, super cheap, it's basically perfect for payments. But the vision doesn't stop there. Not even close. The goal is to build an entire financial world on top of this high-speed proof-of-work foundation. And this is where it gets really mind-blowing for the future. Developers are right now building full smart contract capabilities on top of Kaspa. So think about everything Ethereum can do. All that DeFi, NFTs, all those complex apps. But imagine running it all on a network that has the security of Bitcoin, because it's proof of work, and has the insane speed we just talked about. It's about getting the best of all worlds without the compromises. You know, when you zoom out, all of this, Bitcoin, Kaspa, it all connects back to this bigger philosophy, captured perfectly here by the economist Friedrich Hayek. It's about this shared quest for sound money, money that is by the people, for the people, not controlled by any single government or authority. It's about building a better financial system from the ground up. So, I guess the question to leave you with is this. Do we really want one single currency to do everything? Or is the future actually more interesting than that? A future where you hold your long-term wealth in digital gold, but you buy your coffee with digital silver. A vibrant ecosystem where different tools work together to build a truly new, truly decentralized economy. What does that future look like to you?